When you think about, everything that you've been able to accomplish in your life, that we have a lot of entrepreneurs in the audience, a lot of people working on their own businesses, and they often look to you and they look to people to think about what they want to do and kind of what that success will be like in the end. So you lose sight of the process. How important do you think the process is? And do you think the current generation of entrepreneurs are a little too focused on the money that's going to come down the line?
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have a good sense of like the things that are running through my mind. I'm obsessed with the process. I genuinely love entrepreneurship so much that I weirdly like to lose. And I like to lose because I respect the game more than the stuff that the game can buy for me. So yeah, do I think, but it's interesting when you ask like the thing that I hear there is, I think entrepreneurship became cool and I'm the beneficiary of that. But I think 20 years ago, a lot of the people in the audience would have not been entrepreneurs, but I would have been. And I don't say that as a razz or a dig to the audience. I just think that what I really want for everyone in the audience is not to be an entrepreneur. And I do have fear that some of the people in the audience are doing the entrepreneur thing because it's cool, because it looks good on paper, it's cool to say you are. And why I fear that is not because they won't be successful, though that stinks and it stinks to lose. It's that if you're not an entrepreneur, like really actually like a purebred, losing in front of your family and relatives will probably be scary, because really one of the telltale signs of a true entrepreneur is their incredible capacity to fail, at least in the micro. And so, I think I do, look, I mean, one of the biggest reasons I never show, I fly private sometimes, my time's valuable. But the reason I like desperately never want to show that is because I don't understand the glamorization of jewelry or cars or flights, because I don't think that is the healthy part of the game. I actually think when entrepreneurs post that stuff, I don't think that's that's aspirational. I really don't. I actually think if you look carefully, it's making a lot of people in this audience and in the world feel bad about themselves, right? They see all these people and like they FOMO, it triggers their insecurity. And so I do worry about, as such a capitalist, I do worry about the over-capitalization of the content. But that's always been the case. Long before social media, people bought Mercedes and Chanel bags and moved to 90210 just for the validation. There are people in the world, you know this, who send their kids to certain schools for their own self-worth. And I worry about that. I don't like that. I think you should be doing things for yourself and your family out of the process, not the stuff. Because I think you'll be happier mentally and you won't burn out. And I think that's important.
I think a big theme of what you were just describing is when we live our lives trying to prove something to others or show that we're feeling a certain way or we're living this life so that other people think we're successful and we did it. And I think a lot of people in this room would be afraid of posting that video that their friends might make fun of or their aunt might think is silly and they should get a quote real job. So how have you kind of blocked out the noise of other people's opinions when you fail or you lose? Because I think a lot of people, myself included, need that advice.
I got fortunate. I lived in a cocoon of an immigrant family where like having a roof over your head and having clothes was like, and food was like a huge win. Both of my parents did not care about other people's opinions. They didn't flash. They didn't need to go buy something expensive. So that became a framework. I also got very lucky that I was so loved and my house was so happy because of my mom when we were super poor when we came to America. So I learned at a very young age that money and stuff did not bring happiness. So I was built for it. I was trained for it, and then I practiced it. I think in high school, instead of going to the cool party on a Friday night, I decided to do a baseball card show and sell cards because I was an entrepreneur. I love the process more than, playing spin the bottle, though that was cool, and I wanted to do that at 15. I really just wanted to be an entrepreneur, and so I've always had a cocoon,